Hello. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about how to add and subtract angles that have degrees, minutes, and seconds. Okay. So before we get into that, I just wanted to kind of do a throwback to an earlier time when you had to work with fractions. Let's say you had 7 1/3 and you wanted to take away or subtract 5 2/3. So what happens is you could do 7 minus 5 and get the 2 whole parts. But the 1/3, and you want to take away 2/3 from 1/3, well, you don't have enough, right? 1/3 is smaller than 2/3, so what do? Well, you borrow, right? So what you say is, okay, 7 is 6 plus 1, but that's really 6 plus 3/3, right? So then I'll have the thirds that I need. So what I'm going to do is, instead of writing 7 1/3, I'm going to write 6, and then remember there's 3/3 plus a third, right? And then minus 5 2/3. So now you have 6 4/3 minus 5 2/3. And now you can say 6 minus 5 is 1, and then 4/3 minus 2/3 is 2/3. Right? So essentially what we're doing is we're borrowing to make the parts. So you have the whole number like 7 and 5, and then the parts, and you're borrowing from the whole so that there's enough parts to do the subtraction. Okay, so now let's take a look at an example specific to degrees, minutes, and seconds. So suppose we have 76 degrees and 32 minutes minus 4 degrees and 51 minutes, and you're like, uh-oh, 51 minutes is more than 32 minutes, so what do? Well, you're going to borrow a degree, and you're going to know that 1 degree is 60 minutes. So we're going to take away a degree from 76 and make it 75 degrees. And now that's going to give us 60 minutes plus the other 32 minutes that were already there. Right? So that's really going to be what? 75 degrees. And then 60 plus 32 is 92. Right? Minutes, and then minus 4 degrees and 51 minutes. So now you can do each part, the like terms in a sense, the degrees, subtracting the degrees. So if you want to write it this way, you could. And you take away 51 from 92, and you get 41, and then take away 4 from 75, you'll get 71. So your final answer should be 71 degrees and 41 minutes. Okay. Oh, and by the way, let me just mention, if this had been addition, like 76 degrees and 32 minutes plus 4 degrees and 51 minutes, what's going to happen is you're going to have the 76 plus the 4, right? That's going to give you 80. But then, so that's going to be 76 degrees plus 4 degrees equals 80 degrees. And then you have the 32 minutes plus the 51 minutes. That's going to give you 83 minutes. And remember that out of this 83 minutes, we know that 60 of them is a degree. So for this part right here, what you really have is 60 minutes plus another what? 23 minutes. And this 60 minutes is 1 degree. So what's going to happen is we have 80 degrees plus another degree. You're going to have 81 degrees, and then this leftover 23 minutes. Okay? So just want to make sure we looked at that. And then for our last example, suppose you were asked, well, suppose you have 90 degrees and you want to take away 25 degrees, 36 minutes, and 51 seconds. So now you have to, this 90 degrees, you're going to have to borrow more than once. Because remember, 90 degrees then would be, just pause for a moment, think of how I would come up with the seconds. What would I have? How many degrees and how many seconds? So you should say, okay, 89 degrees, because I'm borrowing 1 degree, but that gives me what? 60 minutes, right? So minus 25, I'll just write this out because it's here. Okay. Well, that would allow me to do the minutes, but I still don't have any seconds. So now I need to come up with some seconds. Well, what do we know about seconds? We know that 1 minute is 60 seconds. Right? By the way, this is not time, this is rotation. So we're talking about rotation like this. Now, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow 1 minute from the 60 minutes, which will give me what? 59 minutes. but then I'll have 60 seconds, okay? So I'll have that minus the 25 degrees, 36 minutes and 51 seconds. So now we can write it this way. Take away 25 degrees, 36 minutes and 51 seconds. So now you've got them lined up, seconds with seconds, minutes with minutes, degrees with degrees. And when you take away, you're taking away the things that are measured the same way, right? So here you're going to have 51 seconds taken away from 60 seconds is going to give you 9 seconds left over. 36 minutes taken from 59 minutes is 23 minutes. And then here 25 degrees taken away from 89 is going to give you 64 degrees. So this is your final answer. Okay. Thanks so much for listening.